What's up, everybody? Welcome in to another edition of the Right Wager Podcast. I am the big man on campus, hanging out with you here for a little bit, seeing what is going on. I hope everyone's having a great Tuesday afternoon. I got some baseball tonight. We'll chat about that. Yankees, obviously, do or die situation. We got some football that, look, I've talked about this game endlessly over the last couple hours. I mean, all the different shows that I've done, I've talked about it a lot. Should be an interesting one. The line's moving all over the place in this game. Arkansas State and Appalachian State. We'll take some questions. I actually go over a little UEFA League of Nations. I know people are obviously clamoring about that. I'm sure everyone's excited. But there's some money to be made in that league. It gets back going tomorrow. For anyone that's not aware, it's basically an international competition where you're seeing the countries come together and play each other for Euro and that kind of stuff. So I urge you to get involved with that. We'll go through some of the games and see if there's any value on the Tuesday card. I'll actually be on Wednesday's games for SBR, so I'll be doing those. But there's definitely some value. And if you can bet those and find that value, I strongly recommend it. So make sure you're checking out UEFA Nations League as well. If you have a basketball question, feel free to send it in. Whatever you want to talk about, whatever questions you have, I come on here to answer. I'll tell you what, it was a great weekend at the site for us. I believe, I want to get the exact numbers, but I know in college football we went 8-0, which was a terrific week. We've obviously had, we had a slow start, Donnie and I, but we started to pick it up a little bit lately. I've hit 4 of 6. Donnie was on an 11-game win streak. Ian Cameron had a nice college football week. So, it's been a nice little run. We had a real long stretch where I think we hit, 10 or 11 in a row, like 11 to 12. So it was a nice run. Everyone's kind of contributing, and we moved towards November and October with some good things going on. So hopefully that continues here. Zigzag word for baseball. No, I think you throw that kind of thing out. But yeah, look, I do think the Yankees will win tonight. It's not going to be easy. CC Sabathia is not the guy that you're in love with starting this game. But I think the Major League need this game. You want one riveting series, don't you? For some reason, Brock Holt's not in the lineup, which I don't no idea why. That didn't make any sense. Brock Holt just hit his first cycle last night. I'm not sure why you wouldn't want him in the lineup again. But I think the Yankees will win. It won't be easy. It's going to be a tough game, and the Yankees must not allow runs early. But you obviously have CC on a short leash. If he's out of line, you pull him and go right to the bullpen. That's a good point, Storm Sports. I don't disagree with you there. I think the Yankees win like 5-3. At least I'm going to be hoping so. As many know, I'm a Yankee fan. Very interested here. Was it just me, or does it seem like Alex Smith was throwing the game? Settle down, Troy B. I don't think he was throwing the game, though. James, Troy, David, Salty, Corey, KG, Shoddy, Jason, Marco, Storm Sports, Wally, Trenton. What's up, everybody? Welcome, Kyle. Welcome in. Team total questions. I don't have an opinion on the totals here. I'm just looking towards the Yankees. Look, if you didn't get the Yankees early, though, you're obviously laying a bigger number. The public is on the Yankees here. The public was on the Yankees last night as well. I'm not going to tell you you're not getting a good number on the Red Sox. Anytime you can get plus money with the Red Sox, it's never a bad bet. Do I like the Thunder or over in that game? Let me see NBA. There's only 2 games tonight. I gave out my first loss last night in the NBA, which you're not going to win every game, I guess, but people, I guess, expect that. But no, look, it wasn't a good one. The Wizards played very well in the game, so shout out to the Wiz. But yeah, I mean, this line is really kind of shot up. I mean, this morning, 10:53 a.m., this line was 2, and then at 1:15 Eastern, it was 6. So, I mean, you have a big move here for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, the question is, obviously, people probably heard stuff on lineups and that kind of thing. Let's see I would obviously guess the public is on the Thunder here, and they are. I mean, 97% of the money's on the Thunder. So that line move makes sense. That would not be one that I have much interest in. One that I do have a little interest in is the Clippers. That might be something I'll have my eye on tonight. They're getting a lot of money, the Nuggets, but the line has went down, so that kind of doesn't make a ton of sense. I might have to look into that one. So we'll see. Preseason obviously winding down here as the season's going to get going here in the next few days, and we'll see if we can find some value on the NBA when that gets started. So as far as the Thunder -6, it's not something I'll be betting, but I wish you luck in that. So again, guys, feel free to send in anything you might have. I'm going to get into some UEFA Nations League for Thursday, which I'm excited about. There's a lot of money to be made in that league, so we'll get into that. Do I think App State covers? Yeah, I do. I think App State will cover. The one thing that has me skeptical is the line. I thought the public would be on Ark State here, but all indications are they're not, which is interesting. I thought the public would be clamoring to take the dog here at home, but I think we're starting to see you're seeing a lot of money come in on App State. Line has went up considerably for them. I saw a 12 at one point, so I kind of gave all that stuff out on what I like as far as the App State side and the Yankees. There's only 2 games, though, that are really very exciting. I'll be watching the Yankees game. Very excited for that. What else do we have here? South End were shocking. Yep. I'm sure Footy Picks will be tuning in for some Nations League talk. Yankees line moved a lot. Yeah, it did. What's with that Twitter beef bullshit? LOL. I have no comment on that. There's no. I notice I didn't respond, so I'm not into that. I'm not getting involved in that. I have nothing to say on this topic, and I'm not going to even give a response about it. What's up, Barry? Hope you're doing well, pal. Yeah, there was a 12 out there. Good point. If you like the dog, you missed the 12. We'll see. You always see a lot of line movement with these midweek games. I'm done with the talking about people on Twitter. I'm not, I'm not doing that. I have my own stuff to worry about. I'm very happy with what we're doing. I have no comment. A lot of money on the over in the game. Yeah, I mean that's obviously the right side, I would think. The thing about it is App State's a very good defensive team, and I haven't been totally impressed with Arkansas State on offense. They've struggled. They've been bogged down a little bit. Antonio says CC's from North Cali gets it done tonight. I hope you're right, bro. I hope you're right. Need for tips, my man checking in. Alex, what's up, pal? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Dude, share me your UEFA picks for Thursday. I want to hear what you're on. I'm about to go over those. Actually, let's go over those right now. I want to get into this. Thursday. These games are for Thursday. That's when this is back going. You look up at the top and you look at some of these prices, and they're interesting. The first one that obviously jumps out to me is Romania. You got to lay a little bit on this one, but I'm going to tell you right now, I bet against Lithuania a lot. I bet against them in World Cup qualifying. They are awful. They are a terrible football team. They can't score goals. That's been a major issue with this group. And I like this Romanian team. They've been playing well. They've been a team that's been on the front foot. They've done a nice job. Lithuania, you look at the last few results. Okay, you lose 2-0 to Montenegro. You lose 1-0 to Serbia. You lose friendlies to Sri Lanka, 2-0 and 0-0. You get beat by Poland 4-0. This team hasn't scored a goal, guys, since did they beat Sri Lanka? I guess they beat Sri Lanka. But let's look at actual competition. They haven't scored a goal since June 5th. They scored a goal against Latvia in the Baltic Cup. They last scored a World Cup or Euro goal qualifier-wise. Last time they scored a goal was October 5th, 2017 against Malta. This looks like a solid side, Romania here. Price a bit high. If you can get win to nil, I think that's probably a great bet here. Faroe Islands, Azerbaijan. Faroe Islands are really starting to look like a good side. I mean, they're not up at a high level competition side, but they're looking better. They're at home here. You got to like that. That's a great home advantage here. They tend to draw a lot, and Azerbaijan are pretty much on their level. The Azerbaijani, one thing you got to know about Azerbaijan is this nation is putting a lot of money into their football team. They're rich. They have a lot of money there. A tremendously beautiful country. I'm actually, Azerbaijan's on my list to go as far as over the next few years. It's up at the top of nations I'd love to visit. Baku is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful place. I want to get there for sure. But you put, this, you look at this group as far as the two best teams. This is actually a better group than people think. I mean, Kosovo has played very well. Faroe Islands improving. They're starting to put a lot of money into their system as well. That's that Nordic area. Iceland did the same thing. Faroe Islands is a similar country. They're putting a lot of money into football. I think this is an interesting league, and this is an interesting game. But at home, I'd love a draw no bet. As far as, if I could get a draw no bet on Faroe Islands, I'm not looking to maybe grab a big price here just because I'm not ever confident they can win games unless they're playing like San Marino or Gibraltar. Azerbaijan are a decent side. This is a far trip for the Azerbaijani. I think this is a draw. That would probably be my thoughts here. Alex can't sleep. He's got Romania -1 as his banker. Like that play a lot. Great stuff. Russia to win also. That's what I was going to get into next. I like this Russian team. I do know, though, there has been some big question marks on some players over there. I heard they attacked someone in Ministry of Security or some random thing. Some of these Russian guys are running around like crazy, doing all sorts of weird things. So that's obviously a big concern to national team players. And one of them was Kolkarin, who is a big-time player. He's one of their best players. They still have Artem Zhuba and guys like that, but, Mamayev and Kolkarin are pretty decent players. Obviously not good after they were beating a man with a chair in a Moscow cafe. They began punching him and hitting him with a chair. Dennis Pak reportedly suffered a concussion in the assault. And according to Pak's lawyer, the pair was motivated by racial animosity after they reportedly peppered Pak with racial slurs. Mamayev's wife claimed that everyone was super drunk. Well, listen, I'll be interested to see what goes on here. This is the minister of sports said they'll be banned from the team if they're found guilty of criminal behavior. So you have to wonder if they'll play in this game. I'd imagine they would. I don't think they've been charged with anything here, at least yet. Who knows? There's a criminal battery attack, and they're going to be in trouble here. So that's obviously a big thing. The two players now. I could have sworn Kolkarin was. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought they were. I don't beat people with chairs in Philly. I've seen people beat with chairs, but no, I don't regularly do that. No. Israel, Scotland. I really like the Scottish here. Israel are terrible. I mean, this team has been brutal. Just lost to Albania in the last round. Israel are real bad. I mean, you're getting a nice price here on the Scotland side. Scotland is comprised of a lot of Celtic players. So, I mean, they're a decent team. Israel are just complete trash. They're not good. They're a garbage side. Scotland at +210 looks pretty solid here. It is a road game, though. Kosovo, Malta. You're starting to pay big prices on Kosovo, which, are never – that's never a place that I want to be. Kosovo are a good side, but they're not – I don't think I'm wanting to lay big, amounts with them here. And Kosovo are on the same level of like Faroe Islands and Azerbaijan and those type of teams. Malta, what they're going to do is set up in front of goal, try to defend. That's what they do. Um, you look at the last couple of score lines, tied with Azerbaijan, lost to Georgia 1-0, lost to Faroe Islands 3-1, tied with Armenia. They're not terrible. Look, I'm not ever running to the window to bet 1.5 goals with Kosovo. It's not doing it. But it looks like Alex likes that one. Yeah, that's a tough one. I can't lay that big a number with Kosovo. I just can't. Serbia, that's an interesting one. Serbia taking on Montenegro. This is obviously a derby. If you're familiar with these countries, good relations, but they are close to each other. They are. Obviously, if you think of a derby, Liverpool plays Manchester United. These nations are very close to each other. Serbia looks solid at this price. I think they're better than Montenegro, but I never generally get involved with derbies like this. Poland, Portugal, both teams' score looks very good here, but I'm not really sure why Portugal's only at plus 170. I don't understand that price at all. Poland doesn't look good at all. This Polish side is they were terrible at the World Cup. Lewandowski, I mean, he's getting older at this point. How do you really trust them? They don't have a ton of great players, really. I kind of like Portugal to win at 2.7. That's a nice price. Hey, I'm not running to the window to bet on Poland right now. I mean, when's the last time this team won? Oh, they beat Japan in the World Cup 1-0. They also lost to Colombia. They lost to Senegal. They've drawn 2 games in a row against the Republic of Ireland and Italy. So I guess you're happy with the Italy draw. That's pretty impressive. But I think Portugal on another level. Maybe you see a draw here, but I'm not betting it. Not one of the best tips. The best tip of the day to me is probably this is not a great card for Nations League games. I like Scotland at plus 200. I also like Romania minus 165 or so. I like actually Romania win to nil more. If you could bet win to nil, that would be my play there. I think Faroe Islands, Azerbaijan could be a draw. I mean, it's the lowest price of the draws on the board. It's hard to split those two. I'm going to go Scotland. I think they beat Israel. I'll lay the 2-1 there and take the Scottish to beat Israel. What else do we have here? Feel free to send in any questions. College basketball getting closer and closer, which I'm very excited about. You continue to see that college basketball is in the news with some stuff going on with Brian Bowen Sr., him spilling his guts on that. So that's obviously interesting. Khabib, that's obviously an interesting story. I'm fascinated by Khabib. I think he's a fascinating person. He's a guy that I think is fairly steeped in tradition, which I really value. I think that's super. I know in my own personal life, I'm very traditional. I'm very reserved. I'm very private, let's say. I know on the shows here, I'm pretty boisterous and out there, but in my personal life, I try to stay very low key, very rudimentary. When I was a kid, maybe I was a bit different. I wanted to be a little bit more flashy. Look, I love Jordans and gold and things like that, but in my own personal values, I'm quite old school. I don't drink. That has a lot to do with that. I don't do any drugs. I'm not someone that goes out and does all that kind of thing. I value and I respect Khabib a lot. I think he's a tremendous guy. I think he just made a mistake. I think he did something that is not who he is. It's very much against his religion. If you know anything about Islam, look, fighting in the ring or in the octagon is obviously a worthy cause. But when you start jumping out of the ring, you can hit a woman, a child. There's no place for that, and I expect Habib's father to deal with it swiftly. As far as a rematch, I don't see the point in it. Obviously, money is the only point. Habib would beat Conor, and he'd beat Conor every time they faced each other. I don't think Conor is. I think Conor's overrated personally. I thought in both Nate Diaz fights, particularly in the first one, he was beaten silly. I think in the second one, he was beaten up a lot in that one. I don't think Conor wants any business with Habib. I also think if Conor fought Tony Ferguson, he'd lose as well. Um, Look, if I'm Conor, I would. I don't know. I don't. I don't see either. I don't see any reason for either fighter to fight again. I think Habib. I don't. I wouldn't be surprised if he rides off into the sunset. I think he's. People don't understand that Habib is not all about money. He's got money. His father's very powerful. He's very connected in Dagestan and Chechnya, and in Russia for that matter. I like Habib. I think he's an interesting human. I think he's a great fighter. I think he's one of the best to ever do it, and he's proven that. Um, so we'll see what goes on. It'll be interesting to see what the UFC doles out, what the Nevada State Athletic Commission doles out. They need to schedule some bums for Conor. Yeah, good point. I would have did that if I was him. Maybe get a little workout in and then go to Khabib. But I think Habib's dad will beat him more than Conor. I don't think he'll beat him. I think he'll obviously deal with it swiftly, where they'll go into a room and he'll slap him around a little bit. I know in my own personal life, my father has made it very clear. If I ever do something really stupid, don't come home. I have the same name as my dad. It obviously is. I know, and for me, it's not. If you do something like that, you better not get caught. My parents are very they're very traditional as well. They don't want to see that. Is it common people of that area to be Islam, Russian? He's not from Russia. He's from Dagestan, which Dagestan and Chechnya are very Muslim regions. It's very common to be Muslim in Chechnya for one. And actually, if you know anything about Chechnya, the leader of Chechnya is actually one of the leaders of basically taking down Islamic terrorism. Kadyrov, he hates Islamic terrorists. He basically wants to create an Islamic utopia where there is no. He hates terrorists and he punishes them to the highest amount of the law. It's very common to be Muslim in those areas, in those Caucasus areas, whether it's Georgia, Dagestan, Chechnya, all those places. It's quite frequent. It's right by the Middle East as well. What else do we have here? Jason Hunter, Yanks to win the series at plus 350. I'd love to see it. I don't think we will though, bro. So I would probably pass on that one. I don't. It's not a bad bet. I mean, if they win tonight, it's a coin flip and you can hedge. You're basically hoping that you're basically saying that you think they're going to win tonight. So yeah, I mean, if you want a hedge opportunity, sure. I mean, then you'd be free rolling and you get plus 350. In the final game, and you can hedge. But I don't think they will win the series. Though I'll root for it. I believe they speak Russian. I mean, they speak their own dialects. It's kind of like in Italy. If you go to Sicily, you speak Sicilian. But Dagestan is obviously aligned with Russia. They're a Russian federal subject, basically. They're in a separate mountain range, but they are basically known as Russian. It's kind of like a territory. It's part of Russia, though. But I think if you ask Habib what he is, he would say he's from Dagestan, but he's Russian. So it's a mix of people. It's very ethnically diverse. You have all sorts of people there. Basically, if I'm remembering correctly, Dagestan is basically it was once mixed with Turks and Persians, and it's kind of like they're kind of like a mix of that from what I've read and what I know. It's very mountainous, very desolate. If you know what I'm talking about, the cities are fairly built up, but they're very tribal. But you have the mountain people, and then you have it's actually kind of like Albania. Albania is very mountainous, but then you have obviously the villages and the cities that are more built up, and you have the beach areas as well. So it's like any other country. It's very diverse, very as far as landscapes are concerned. You got mountain villages, you have regular villages, you have big cities. So yeah. Um, Abraham, what's happening? How are you? Hope you have a great day. Connor took 2 years off, came back and fought the top guy. As a boxing fan, that's something we rarely see. They have to fight 4 or 5 bums, then fight with that. Yeah, I think even if he did do that, he would still lose. He doesn't want to be on the ground. You saw in the fight against Nate Diaz, he didn't want to be on the ground. When Nate Diaz would get knocked down, he wouldn't pursue him. He said, get back up and fight. He wants to fight standing up. He doesn't want to get on the ground. It's a bad matchup for Habib or for Connor. And I'm not even a huge UFC guy, but I can even see that. It's not a good matchup. All right, guys. Let's play a game. How about we do that? We'll have some fun with a game. I know people like this. Let's do we'll do a special prize to anyone that can stump me. Who are the Eagles about to make a move for? I think LaShawn McCoy. Anybody that stumps me, Capitals. Give me a country, I'll give you the capital. And obviously, we all see I have to respond quite swiftly. If you're able to stump me, you can DM me and I'll send you a prize. So go ahead now. Anybody that wants to do that, we've done that before and it was fun. So we'll try it again here and see what we can come up with. Bosnia, that's Sarajevo. What else do we have here? Yeah, but if I'm the Eagles, I would look. I would maybe call the I would call the Bears about Jordan Howard, see what his story is. But yeah, I would think it's McCoy. I don't think McCoy ever wanted to leave here, so I think that's obviously something that we had to live with. I mean, we got nothing back for him. So yeah, I would call it McCoy. Guatemala City would be the capital of Guatemala. Bolivia is La Paz. Luxembourg, that's a good one. Actually playing good football right now. I believe it's Luxembourg City, if I'm correct. It's not a big country. Azerbaijan, Baku. Holland is Amsterdam. Canada, I believe, is Ottawa. Trentsin-Traya, I've never heard of that country, so I don't even think that's a recognized country, frankly. Easy ones today, guys. These are very easy. Georgia, Tbilisi. Yeah, these are easy ones today, guys. You're not stumping anyone here. Indonesia, Jakarta. No, I don't have a list. I can actually show you. I'm looking straight at the computer. These are off the top of my head. Czech Republic is Prague. You got to give the country, not the capital. These are easy ones today, guys. These aren't Belgium, Brussels. Actually, it might be Antwerp. I might be wrong. It's Antwerp, I believe. 2 big cities in Belgium. What is it? I believe it's Brussels. Yeah, I was right the first time. Yeah, I've never heard of Trentsin-Tria. I'll have to look that up right now. Let me see here. I don't know where that even is. And believe me, I know a lot about. I mean, it's part of Moldova. I want to say, but let me look it up here. Trentsin-Tria is an unrecognized state which controls part of the geographical region. There's a city called Bender and its surrounding locations are on the west bank of Moldova. Yeah, I mean, it's not a recognized country, so that wouldn't count. Mongolia, Ulaanbaatar. Angola. African countries are tough. Angola. Luanda, I think. Central Africa, I believe Angola. It's if you would rank them, if you would go alphabetically, Angola would be number one. So yeah, I believe it's Luanda. What else do we have here? St. Kitts, they don't have a capital. It's an island. I don't believe they have a capital there. Sri Lanka. Oh, that might be a stump one there. I have to think about that for a second. Um, I want to say they're one country. I think they have two capitals. It's kind of like the Ankara, like or Constantinople or Istanbul, whatever. What is it? I want to say it's Colombo, but I'm not. I'm not sure. I know they have like a different country that they might consider, or not different country, different like state or capital that they might consider. Um, I want to say it's Colombo, but I might be wrong. Tell you four dipping sauces from Chick-fil-A. I don't know any dipping sauces from Chick-fil-A. So I don't eat there. I haven't eaten there in a while. San Marino, that's an easy one. San Marino's capital is San Marino. The Comoros, that's an archipelago off Africa's east coast. Uh, Beautiful country, by the way. Very cool flag, also. Moroni is the capital of Comoros. Um, Yeah, I mean, I don't think St. Kitts. I don't think they ever had a recognized. I don't think they're a recognized country. I might be wrong though on that. Um, it's transformed rainforests and mountains. I didn't even know they had cities. I thought it was just an undeveloped like island. But hmm, I never knew that actually. Wales, I believe Cardiff. Cardiff, Wales. I can actually do a lot of British accents if anyone ever wanted one. Cardiff. I'm actually getting really good at British accents. Like I can do really good London, uh, Jamaican, Jamaican Brit accent. Because I started watching the show called Top Boy, and I'm like all about this shit. I'm really good as in like accents. Um, You saw it on a show. What the capital of Saint Kitts was? What the hell show is that? The Cote d'Ivory. That would be the Ivory Coast. Yamoussoukro is the capital of Ivory Coast. Um, Beautiful country as well on the West African area near Ghana, Liberia, Togo, Guinea, Sierra Leone. Uh, nice country. Colombia, Bogota. Okay. Well, yeah. See, I told you. I had a feeling, Kevin. I said that. I had a feeling there were different answers to that, but I think we had the right idea there. Andorra La Vella, I believe, is Andorra's capital. Iceland, Reykjavik. Mozambique. That's actually a very jungle-like country. The capital of Mozambique is Maputo. Mozambique's actually borders Madagascar, which is an own island off the coast of Africa. So yeah, Maputo is the capital of Mozambique. Wow, how about that? Somebody typed in Greenland, and then someone else typed in Greenland. You guys are thinking of the same thing. Greenland, a country that is an interesting country, very big landmass. Um, Capital of Greenland. Iceland's Reykjavik, Oslo's Norway. Uh, New Greenland. Danish territory. Nuke, I believe. Nuke, I think it is. NUK, Nuke. Yeah. I'll go Nuke. I believe it's Nuke. Benin, which is in Africa, Porto Novo. All right, guys, that'll be it. No one stumped me. How about that? You guys aren't going to stump me. I'm pretty good at this. Though there was a question about St. Kitts, I guess we'll count that. Um, I mean, St. Kitts and Nevis, okay. I guess someone won. Quito is Ecuador. Yeah, yays. You just keep saying like weird nations that aren't really nations, so you're out. So who was the guy that said Kate St. Kitts? KG. I guess we'll consider that. I don't really think that's a one, but fair enough. Whatever you want. We had some questions here. Took Saints to win the Super Bowl. Thought they had the best offense in the league. Agree. Yeah. Do I think they win the Super Bowl? No. Interesting question by Guan White about the 4 dipping sauces. I'll say buffalo and ranch. I don't know what the others would be. Maybe honey mustard. I have no idea. Okay, yeah, I think that's fair. Though that was a good one. But today's questions weren't too difficult, actually. That's a good move by West Kentucky. Good for Rick Stansbury. See, that's what you do. Go out and just hire the family. That's what Michael Porter did. Michael Porter's dad got hired at Missouri. Well, no, because you're saying countries that don't exist. You're just giving like unrecognized territories and stuff. They're not countries. I'm not shutting you down. They're just I'm not going over things that aren't recognized. I said countries, and you're giving me unrecognized like territories and stuff. Keep in mind, Australasia is a self-declared. It's a self-declared sovereign state. I mean, no one recognizes it as a country. Um, it's not a real country. Like the United Nations doesn't recognize it as a country. Um, yeah, they fired him the other day. Ruffin McNeil got hired as new coordinator. Um, but yeah, cool. Why does he suck, Derek? Why don't you enlighten us on why he sucks? That's kind of a ridiculous statement. Let's hear what your idiot ass has to say about that. Why does Gabe suck, Derek? Let's hear. Let's entertain this idiot for 1 second. And then we'll wrap it up. I might take the late game. We'll see. There's only 2 games, so we'll see how the line movement goes. But we're not betting it now. It's too early. Flyers home ice tonight, first time. That's fun. What the hell? Derek Biller, you're an asshole. Get the fuck out of here. That dumb bullshit. He's not even here to defend himself. Why don't you go on his show and tell him that? How about that? Instead of coming on my show. Fuck off. Idiot. I'm not really following it a whole lot. I mean, I'm interested to see. Well, then you probably did something fucking stupid, bro. Take it up with him. I don't know why you're coming on my show. This has nothing to do with him. Go tell him that then. My guess is he probably said something stupid. That was probably my thing, but go tell him that. That has nothing to do with me. I think they're already scrambling, Hutton, for sure. Creighton, Arizona, all those places, they're all concerned. But they'll just blame it on that one person, say it was them doing it. It was a rogue thing. So I don't think we'll see much out of it. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it, man. Some people don't like them, but I have fun with them. A lot of them are just shtick. Just having fun. Oh, also, guys, wanted to remind you if you're interested, Blackjack Fletcher and I will have a show tomorrow night. We're going to be doing a little reunion show. If you know anything, Blackjack and I used to do a show called the Viva La Vegas podcast. It was a live show we would do. We're going to have it tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, 8 to 10. We're going to do some, little reunion show and take some calls. We took a lot of calls on that show. Would allow you to call in and get your points across. So, if you're a fan of that show, make sure you look out for it tomorrow night. The Viva La Vegas show, it'll be on Twitter. We'll tweet it out. We urge you to come listen and call in. It's always a fun show between Jack Fletcher and I, an old friend that we used to have shows together, him and I. Yeah, they were a Yanks guy. They're very disgusting. Yeah, because you're acting like an idiot. You don't call people out in my show. I got nothing to do with them. Go on their show and call them out. It's not got nothing to do with me. So, Derek, you are in the wrong place, bud. Get out of here. Go tell him that. All right, guys, we will wrap it up here. And ride off into the sunset here. Hopefully, you have a great Tuesday night. Go Yankees. Let's get the job done here, Bombers. Let's get back into the series and tie it up. Looking forward to it. CC against Rick Porcello. I'll say Yankees win 5-3. Everyone have a great day. I'll be back very soon. I'll be back on the air tomorrow. SBR at 10 a.m. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye-bye.